Yo, 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 what's up? What's up? Another episode of Nothing Nice. Y'all know what it is. I'm here with my brother Mook Jones.
You. Let's
What's
get
up,
it.
bro?
Let's
And of
get it.
course, I'm JB, your host. Boy, the Super Bowl. We got to wrap up this NFL season before we get into the NBA talk. Man, you called it. You called the Eagles winning the Super Bowl, so I'm gonna let you start it out today. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, man? Like, man, I got the who got the juice now, man. So, man,
You
I'm always
Tropicana.
right, bro. I'm always dropping these solid takes, man. But back to what I was saying, we had Samson on last week. Shout out to my boy. But
For sure, for sure.
I was just telling you guys, man, that I pretty much called it, man. I pretty much called it. I called the game straight down to the wire, to the middle. I kind of had the formula. I should have went with my first gut because I had it 31-17, but I was on the skeptical side. I was like, man, you don't want to go against that boy Mahomes. So it ended up being 40-22. So I was kind of right in that neck of the woods. I did say that Devontae Smith was going to be my X factor, which he was a major X factor. I did say Dallas Gordon. I knew they was gonna take him away. I knew they was gonna take Saquon away. And then I did say they was gonna kind of double team AJ Brown. So, people might say I predicted the future, man. So and I knew what my boy Jalen was gonna do. So he got all the problems to the test. He had the cheat code, man. So, but I did not expect for Pat Mahomes to look that bad though. Like it was like deer with his head cut off, man. He was seeing ghosts out there for a little bit.
Okay. Everybody calm down. Okay, so firstly, shout out, salute to the Eagles, Super Bowl champion Eagles. They got the job done. They won. Like, I've had several friends hit me up who are like real Eagles fans. Like, yeah, what you gonna say? Da da da. I was never mad at the Eagles. I support them. I
Right,
picked them to go to the Super Bowl, so I'm not mad at them. I was just shocked that they got it done. So salute to them for getting it done. Great, like just listening to the guys on that team talk and everything like that. They all seem like super solid, good people, everything like that. And man, like, and a lot, you were right. That's I just gotta give you your props on that. For the most part, you were right. Jalen, he and he said just because he doesn't do something doesn't mean that he can't do it. And they said,
right,
okay, we're gonna make you throw, and he threw and threw again and
right,
threw again, and then ran what he needed to. And the fact that offensive line wasn't giving up nothing. They said, hey, you need time to throw, we got you. Hey, like basically KC, they said we're gonna stop Saquon, and that was a whole
right.
game plan. It wasn't stop Saquon and cover. It was just literally game plan, stop Saquon. And they left it there. And the defense couldn't get the stops that they needed. They would get them to third down just for the Eagles to get the first down. And then on the flip side, Patrick Mahomes, honestly, it looked like the Tampa Bay game again, where the Eagles were
Yeah.
able to rush forward. They didn't blitz a single time. They didn't have to blitz. So they were able to rush forward, get in the backfield, hit Patrick Mahomes. The wide receivers, Patrick Mahomes' lack of weapons came to show his face. The fact that guys couldn't get open, and then when guys could get open, they would drop the ball. They
Right.
weren't looking for the ball. It was a mess. It was a complete mess. But what it does do for the Chiefs, which
Mhm.
I'm not like a big Chiefs fan. However, I do have all the respect for Patrick Mahomes, and I like him as a player.
Gotcha.
What it does do for the Chiefs, though, it makes them have to reevaluate, and they can't just say, as long as we have Patrick and Patrick alone, we can, jump over any mountain that's in front of us. It's going to make them go out and get a wide receiver. It's going to make them draft offensive linemen in this draft to help protect them. Because being able to rush for the entire game, Philly never had to switch their scheme up. They just said, we're going to
Right.
rush forward and everybody else drop into your gaps or play man, whatever the case may be, and be ready to pick the ball off. Like when you could do that, the game becomes super simple after that.
Yeah. A lot of people they relate that game to the Tampa Bay game, but really I
Yep.
haven't seen a game more dominant than that since the Denver Broncos and the Seattle Seahawks. You know, when Peyton Manning came in there with that historic offense, man, and I haven't seen a more dominant defensive performance than that game. I mean, that was a pretty dominant performance that Seattle had, and they
100%.
dominated. I've never seen Pat Mahomes look like that, man. You know, I've never seen Travis Kelce had such a horrible game. I mean, we only saw Taylor Swift one time in that game.
Taylor Swift, that's hilarious.
Man, so that means you didn't hear nothing from Travis Kelce, man. I mean, I like I said before the game, that's 7-11. So I guess they was closed that night. So,
No, no,
so
it
man,
was
you
a
know,
holiday, obviously. They
it
were out
was a
on
crazy game.
holiday because, man, that man was clamped. Lock up the puppies. That's what that
Yeah.
was. And I
But
hate
let,
that
but,
from my
but
Cleveland
let me
brother.
ask you, yes, sir. But let me ask you about this nonsense I've been hearing, man. And you know, I keep trying to hear them compare Mahomes now that he finally lost to like a Josh Allen or I'm like, why do they keep trying to put these guys in the conversation with this man? I mean, they still got him over Jalen. And I'm like, why?
No, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because
Like,
Jalen, like you said, Jalen, all he does is win. So Jalen, I have nothing bad to say about him. For me right now, if we talk about what's going, like who's who in the league, I'm going Patrick Mahomes one. I'll go Jalen and Lamar together in that second tier, and then I'll go Joe Burrow, C.J. Stroud, Josh Allen in that third tier together.
right. I just don't
That's
understand.
what I'm
Like,
looking at.
I just don't understand. Like, what if Joe Burrow did so significant that he just unmovable at number two? Like, they just he like I don't think he got a stronger arm than I don't think Joe Burrow's arm is stronger than Jalen Hurts. I don't think Joe Burrow can run faster than Jalen Hurts. Like they keep talking
No, I
about when
don't
they
think
keep
so.
talking about he ain't in the talent level. What you mean? When they said Jalen Hurts was arm was as strong as Josh Allen's when he was in the combine throwing. So and they said that's what makes Josh Allen so special. So I keep wondering like
Right.
why is this such a sin to say Joe Burrow is not that guy, man? Like he haven't done anything. If he was to quit right now, what would he say? What would they say about him? I mean, he don't got no
Yeah.
MVPs. He haven't. He's not been to the playoffs every year he's played. He's not a top three winner of all time, given his age in his first couple of seasons. He haven't won at a spectacular level. What has he done?
Right.
He's done nothing
I
to be
mean,
remembered.
honestly, I was between his peers right now. He does. He is in last place of his peers, just from
Right,
what actually matters, which are either personal accomplishments or team
right.
accomplishments. He is in last place right now when it comes to
And,
that. So I mean,
and I hate
that's
to
a
sound like
valid.
a hater, man. I hate to sound like a hater, but what has he done? Like, if you put him
I
up
mean,
against
that's
anybody,
fair.
he's hurt every other year. I mean, he's been outplayed in the playoffs. Just like some people say
Right.
Josh Allen can't beat. Just like some people say Josh Allen can't beat Mahomes. Burrow can't beat Lamar. So, like, what are they talking about? I just don't understand it, man. Because last time I checked, every time Joe Burrow go against Lamar, he loses. He almost lost to his backup in the playoffs. He didn't fumble at the 1 yard line. But nobody talk about that.
That's
Nobody talks about
facts.
that.
That's
Nobody talks about
facts.
the fact that he's played all 17 games this year and they still didn't make the playoffs. You can say what they want. You can say what you want about this defense.
Mm.
Yeah, that's true. But a
No,
lot of times
I
those
feel you.
losses is
Now,
on him.
what I've been having a problem with is people basically after like the sky is falling for Patrick Mahomes. That's what I
Right.
haven't liked. Where they're like the GOAT conversation is just completely over. So I just like okay, let's like actually break down what happened. Did Patrick Mahomes lose? For sure.
Of course.
Did the Eagles dominate on both sides of the ball? For sure. Did KC make a single adjustment? They absolutely did not. Okay, so those are
Right.
all things that are true. But if we add stuff on top of that, what happened? The Eagles had the better team. They won. But if we look at every team Tom Brady ever won a Super Bowl with had a top
Mm.
10 defense. Tom Brady never won a Super Bowl where he didn't have the top 10 defense in the league. And then when we look at some of these Super Bowls, he has the one that was against the Rams, low scoring game. That wasn't a hard one to win. He had the one that was against the Giants. He had two against the Giants that he lost. The one that was a shootout against the Eagles before when it was Nick Foles, he lost that one. So I feel like people are trying too hard to pump up Tom Brady's Super Bowls when
Yeah.
he really doesn't need that. Tom Brady
Right,
right
yeah.
now, I will
If you,
agree. Tom Brady right now is still the GOAT.
there you
However,
go.
first 10 years, Patrick Mahomes has a way better career than what Tom Brady had in his first 10 years. So assuming that Patrick Mahomes is going to keep playing and not retire tomorrow, the GOAT conversation is not over.
And let's just be clear. Like two of his Super Bowls is the worst coaching ever. Like being honest.
The
Like
Atlanta one for sure.
he had no business winning that Atlanta one. I mean, they literally just said it's like somebody came to the locker room and said, "You win this game, we offer you a host." Like I don't
Do
understand
you
the
want to go
adjustments.
home
It's
tonight?
like it's like the Atlanta came out and they made all the opposite adjustments of right. It's like, oh yeah, we want Matt Ryan. Like it's horrible. And then that call by Pete Carroll, I don't even got to say that was the worst call in history of football. Like if you do the worst calls ever, that got to be right up there, number one.
No, that has
It's
to be
not even
number
number
one.
two. It's like number one by a mile. That's the
Yeah, that
worst
has to
play.
be number one.
Everybody know that ball should went to Marshawn. Like, come on.
Yeah,
Come on, everybody know that. So I don't even
yeah.
know. Like I only count.
They
He
had
truly
a
got
timeout.
5.
We don't
He
even
he truly
discuss that.
got. He truly has 4 to me because everybody know about the Tuck rule on his first championship.
Right,
They supposed to never even got to the Super Bowl. So to me, he
right.
got 4 legitimate Super Bowls. To me, that's just to me. That's just to me. And everybody know he wasn't the bus driver those first 3 years. And then I still counted against Tom Brady that was a 10 year window, a 10-year gap that he didn't even get to the Super Bowl and win one. So I count that against him too. So Pat Mahomes been in the Super Bowl 5 out of the last 6 years. I don't
And the
understand.
AFC
Like,
Championship every year.
man, it just make me say, man. It just made me say, bro. It made me start thinking about racism. I'm be honest with you, man. Because if
Mm.
this was, if this was, if this, I hate to say this, man, and I
If
love
this is Josh
everybody.
Allen,
Yeah, if it was anybody white, let's just be real. It wouldn't even be a
mm.
conversation. I mean, you can't even touch Joe Burrow at number 2, and all he did was beat Pat Mahomes in an in an AFC championship game. I mean, Jalen Hurts has outplayed this game, dude, twice in the Super Bowl and beat him one
Right,
time. And they still talk about, well, he's still behind Joe Burrow, Josh Allen. And like, what did this dude got to do? I mean, they say Josh Allen is so great. Yeah, you only got beat by him 4 straight times. Or you can say, okay, well, Jalen Hurts got beat by him one time. Jalen Hurts said, well, you know what? To make sure I don't get beat by him twice, I'm just gonna blow him out. Obviously, Josh Allen
right.
ain't learned. Josh Allen been 4 turns. He keeps talking about,
Jalen
well,
said he's putting foots and belts.
yeah. Jalen Hurts learned from his mistake. He said, you know what? If I get him up close, I'm probably not going to beat him. So let's just blow him out. Josh Allen, the one ain't got
Yeah,
enough sense to say, we're going to keep on playing close games where it come down to the last minute, and my coach not going to be able to make the adjustments, and I'm not going to be able to make the next play. Jalen Hurts said, I ain't going to even give it that chance. I ain't going to give my team a chance. We just going to blow him out. So,
bro. Bro, no, I hear you. I definitely hear you. Okay, so tell me this, and we're gonna wrap up the football talk with this. Who do you have? Do you have the Eagles going back to back?
it depends, man. I know Myles Garrett going to be on the move, man. We got some
Why
pretty
you gotta
good
bring that
moves.
up? Why you gotta bring that up?
No, no,
What
no,
are
no.
we
I
doing?
wouldn't even. I'm not even trying to. I'm
Bro,
not even trying to. I'm not even trying to bash Cleveland, bro. I can't say I didn't see this coming. You seen it coming too. But anyway,
scam,
but anyway,
scam.
but yeah, man. But yeah, yeah, it depends on where he goes, man. If he goes to the Commanders, man, I mean, like you look at the playoffs, really, man. The most successful quarterback against the Eagles last year in the playoffs was Jaden Daniels.
For
I mean,
real,
his
for
team
sure.
show. His team just did not show up, and they keep trying to put Matthew Stafford there, man. I mean, like, so they just gonna discount the first 10, 11 years of his career where he couldn't even make a franchise get. That was the worst franchise ever with
for
Matthew
sure.
Stafford. And he had Megatron. You had Golden Tate.
Yeah,
Like, bro, you ain't getting off the hook for me. They keep talking about he's top five. Why? What makes him top five, man? You couldn't
because of his
win with
arm talent.
Megatron.
That's all it is. Because he
Yeah,
can literally make every throw in the game. However, does
man,
it translate
you
to wins
couldn't
all the
win
time?
with
No.
Megatron. You couldn't win with Megatron, though, bro.
Yeah,
I'm not letting you off the hook for that, bro. You can't be a top five in my book. You can't be a loser
I'm
your whole
not.
career. You can't be a loser your whole career and then go to LA and win 3 seasons and you all of a sudden got a top five. No, man, you a loser in my.
You're a new creature in the Lord.
Yeah. If you lost more seasons than you won, you're a loser. This is in my book.
I feel you. All right. Well, I can't wait to get back to football. I miss it already. This is a
Yeah.
great NFL season, a great college football season, and I look forward to get back to it. But
Yeah.
let's
But you
hop
asked,
over
but you
to
asked
the
me a
NBA.
question. You asked me a question
Oh,
though
what's up?
before I go. I think it's
Yeah, yeah.
gonna be the battle of the birds next year. I say Lamar breaks through to the Super Bowl and he goes against the Eagles battle of the birds.
Don't hate it. I don't hate it. I can
Jalen
get
Hurts
it. I
broke
can.
Jalen Hurts Jalen Hurts broke the mold of the running quarterback winning the Super Bowl, getting to the Super Bowl. It's gonna be a battle of the birds, you know.
Mm.
You know. So I
Okay.
got, and I hate to say it, man, I kinda got Philly getting the best of them in the Super Bowl. So you heard it here first.
You know what? You know what's funny? When I was watching the game, I was thinking, I was like, and I actually said it out loud. I said, I think the Ravens would have been a way better matchup for the Eagles than KC was. Because the Ravens on offense, Lamar, how dangerous he is with his arm and leg, they couldn't just rush four. Because you rush four, he's running by you with all four of them, and he's in the house. So they could have
Right.
had that same game plan. They couldn't. There's no way the Eagles are rushing four against the Ravens.
Sometimes you say that, but then I've seen Lamar, man, where he gets in the playoff, man, and he forgets about his dynamic legs and his movement
Mm.
ability. Because you can say that about that game last year in the AFC Championship game against Pat Mahomes.
But I
He
mean,
kind of,
that's not what happened
I,
this year, though.
I think Lamar, what he needs to do, he needs to watch this. He needs to study the film of Jalen Hurts in the Super Bowl against that team. Jalen Hurts. One thing about Jalen Hurts, it's the small thing. Because most people will look back at it and they say, well, it wasn't a big pass. If you look at it, man, the dude was so decisive. Like when they showed that they was coming on the edge, he was gone. I
Mm.
mean, he was one tick. He got to that back foot. Oh, they coming. Take off. He did it like 3 straight times and just broke the camel's back. Well, they was in like the perfect position. And he took off running. Was no answer for it. And Lamar, he got to get to the point in the playoffs where, look, I don't care how it looks. He got to get in that mindset like Jalen Hurts. I don't care how it looks, long as we win.
I
And
hear you,
he,
but that's kind
he
of unfair for this year. I hear you, but that's kind of unfair because they were on Mark Andrews fumble and drop away from being in the AFC Championship, and then we don't know what would have happened at that point.
I'm gonna be honest
So,
with you. That game even should have came to that. It shouldn't even been that close. Really, like you look how much more talent the Ravens had than Buffalo. Buffalo was undersized. I don't think that game
mm,
should even came to that. If like people keep saying like if Jalen Hurts, if Josh Allen would have made it to the playoff, it would have been even worse.
if he would have
It
made it to
would
the
have
Super Bowl,
if Josh Allen in the Buffalo Bills would have made it instead of Kansas City.
that
It would
that
have been
doesn't make
even
sense.
worse.
I don't know why someone would say that, but for I think the Ravens would have been a great matchup for the Eagles. Just because I'm telling you, Lamar, you can't play Lamar like you're gonna play any other quarterback in the NFL. You're not rushing four. I don't care
Yeah.
who they have as their four, because as soon as you get past him, he's going past you. With Lamar, you have to more so play the passing. I mean the lanes honestly,
Mm,
and try to collapse the pocket than
yeah,
try to bull rush your guy or or do a swim move or a spin move past your guy and then try to surprise him.
I think it's
Because if
Ty
you go
Money.
behind him, he's using that same lane to break out for 50 yards.
I think Ty Money is the problem, bro. You can't stop handing the ball to Derrick Henry. He got to get Derrick Henry should get at least 26, 27 carries a game, easy,
Yeah, I'll probably
on
bring
a
it down.
bad day. Because you even look at like Saquon, he was bottled up, but he got like 20 something touches in the Super
Yeah,
Bowl. You got to keep him honest, man. You got to keep handing him the ball. It shouldn't be games where he don't touch the ball 20 times. Not that
no,
workhorse because he does a big play. You mean you
no,
shouldn't
I
have
agree.
to you shouldn't have to Lamar shouldn't have to be a superhero. Be honest with you. That's why he got that bell cow back there. You should play the
I feel
game.
you.
Minimum mistakes, but they did that all year, so he only had 4 interceptions. You can't do no better than that protecting the ball. But you gotta
Yeah,
hand that ball off. You gotta ride that big dog you got there. You gotta ride that big boy you got back there. You gotta ride Derrick Henry more. He gotta at least get
no,
20 touches a game. If that ain't in the game plan, I don't know what Ty Monkey is doing.
yeah, no, I feel you. I hear you, man. But okay, so switching to the NBA, it's been a crazy season so far, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
Just a couple of things that have happened this year. We have Cleveland, woo woo, number one in the NBA. We have OKC number one in the West. We have surprises like the Rockets, where they're, let me see. Well, for the longest time they were number two. Right now they're number four in the West.
Right.
And then let's just rip the Band-Aid off of this. We have AD with Dallas already hurt, and we have Luca with LA.
Hate to say street clothes.
Anthony Data Davis. So,
Uh,
so what's up, bro? What's your biggest shocker so far in the NBA?
man, what everybody's biggest shock was, man. You don't get rid of 5-time first team all player under the age of 26, 25-year old. I don't care
25
about
years.
it. Look, I don't care that Joe get to be 300 pounds. He's producing. Every year he's gotten better in the playoffs.
And
Every
he
year they
didn't
win.
want to leave. He didn't
Yeah.
want to leave.
Man, look,
You just went to the
defense is not.
championship.
You can talk about all you want. He's playing in the games. Like they got blew out last night against Utah, but you can't make that trade, man.
I
I
mean,
mean, I mean, for that GM, man, they got to win the championship, but he's getting fired.
okay, so here's the conspiracy. Here's the
Nico,
conspiracy. I don't know if you heard it. So what they think is they traded Luca. One, they didn't want to pay Luca all that money. So they traded him to LA so they don't have to pay him that super max of, I think it was like 330 something mil, something along those lines. The plan is to move Dallas to Vegas. And this will allow them to do it. I think because they've been talking about having a team in Vegas for a while. I
why
think
would
that's
that make
extremely
any
unfair to
sense?
Dallas.
Why would that make any sense though? Because if you're gonna do that, you're gonna move to another franchise. You got to be able to sell tickets.
Well, they're going to sell tickets in Vegas. Vegas supports, and then also the owners have business in Vegas. They have businesses in Vegas
Right.
because Dallas wouldn't let them put. I think they wanted to have like a casino or something like that for in the stadium, and they wouldn't allow them. So they're talking about moving them over to Vegas. I think I do think Vegas
Dallas gonna
deserves
be
a
a big.
team as a basketball city. However, I do not think they should move the Mavericks. They have a championship in that city.
Too
They've
much
gone
history.
to three.
It's too much history in Dallas. I don't see that.
I mean,
They
there's
won't be
not.
teamless for long. They won't be teamless for long. I'll tell you that.
I mean, I'll sure hope not. But okay, so now that we have Luca in LA, what do you think their ceiling is this year? Right now, the Lakers are fifth in the West.
Man, I'm telling you, man, if it was me, man, I'm getting on the phone with the White House, man. He just can't shower with us. He, we need him on the court though. We need him on the court.
Okay, so without Dwight, because they're not gonna make that call. How far do you think the Lakers could go? This new look Lakers team.
Man, I don't know, man. I think it depends on how much the young stud they got. Hayes, is his last name Hayes.
Yeah,
Man, if they, man, I can see this little boy, man, coming up, man, becoming like one of them younger Amari Stoudemire, because he gonna have the lane. Because when LeBron closing and Luka both penetrating, the
yeah,
easy dump off pass, he got them young legs, man. I think they go as far as of course, Jokic's gonna be a problem, but they couldn't guard Jokic when they had AD. So
right.
it really doesn't matter. I mean, if they can avoid Denver, if they can somehow avoid Denver, I think they can go all the way. But I'm telling you, this OKC team, man, is lethal, man. This boy Shea, he might be the best player in the league, man. He's so effortless, man. And then he
He's
got
tough.
Jamal, and then you got Chick Hungrum getting back healthy. Man, they got all the weapons, man. I'll be surprised if OKC don't come out the West and when it's all said
Okay,
and
and
done.
so you
I
you
really
like
don't see them
OKC
guys.
coming out?
I really don't see them having no weakness, man. I mean, you got a premier defender in Dort. You got a
Right,
premier you got a premier scorer leader in Shea, and
right,
you got a premier three guard in Williams who's like does all the small things like
right.
passing, all the dirty work, man. So and he could be a really irritating defender as well as himself because he got good size on him. So I really don't see it. And then you got Chick Holmgren who can also extend the floor, so you really can't close in because he's a top 40% shooter when he's healthy as a big man, and he can take you down there and yam on your head. And they young, man. They don't know no better. So man, this a tough team, man. When you think about
Bro, it sounds like you made your pick for the West
it. Yeah, man.
before we
I,
even
I
get to the
watched them boys
playoffs.
play, man. I watched them boys play, man. I said, man, I see it,
Okay,
man.
so let's talk about, and we'll just keep it in the West for right now. If we just keep it in the West, we have the T Wolves who are number 7. That's kind of disappointing. We have the Kings. They have pretty much a whole new, well, a substantial new look to their squad. Uh, Wimby, Wimby and De'Aaron Fox are there at 12, so they're outside the playing game right now. And the Suns with KD and Book, they're at number 11 outside the playing game. No surprise.
Yeah, man. I told you about the Minnesota, man. I told you that trade did not benefit Minnesota. I told you that trade was gonna clog up the lane and it was
Listen,
gonna make it
I
worse.
didn't believe in that trade either. That was
I
E.
was telling
I mean,
Eden.
E
I
saw
was
the
telling
trade coming,
Eden.
but I never been a
Look,
fan of it.
he was a dog for predicting. Now I give him that credit. But
Well,
like
he
I
for
said,
sure called it way before.
when he even called it though, the main thing I was saying why it wouldn't make sense is because you got a premier, you got the premier driver. To me, Anthony Davis is the most talented, gifted player in the NBA right now, as far as like skill and athleticism. I don't think there's nobody more talented than him right now in this
One of
NBA
them for
right now.
sure.
Yeah. So for me, when you got, even though he can step his game out to shoot the three, and what's my guy name
Who,
that they
Julius
traded?
Randle?
Julius Randle. Even though he can step out and shoot the three, his game is more of a back to the basket type bruiser type player.
Yeah, mid
So
range.
I was like, man, that's really he's gonna. Of course, he's a dog, but he don't really compliment Anthony. He he don't really compliment Anthony Edwards like Karl Anthony Towns does. And I
Right.
said, Karl Anthony Towns, the best thing about Karl Anthony Towns, though he don't got a backup game, but anywhere he goes, he automatically make that team better because of his shooting ability to stretch
Right.
the floor and then take them off the drive. So, Anthony Edwards, man, I think they kind of X'd themselves out. If anybody should have gave up, it was Rudy Gobert. But
You know how I feel about Rudy Gobert. I'm against Rudy Gobert completely.
yeah, I
But
think
no,
Minnesota,
seriously.
they out of it.
No,
I'm process of elimination. Um, of course, Dallas. I don't know how much you can depend on Anthony Davis. I don't know about them. So, I just think you can't recover from losing to Luka. You can't recover, man. I mean, it's a whole completely different team. I don't think the fans are really into it. They ain't bought into it.
man, the fans in Dallas went off. They
Yeah.
went off. They were just outside the stadium protesting. They were begging for Adam Silver to overturn the trade. They were begging. They were down bad.
They want Nico Harrison gone for sure.
Oh yeah, either he was on. I don't know. Either he's a scapegoat or he's gonna be a genius if they find a way to get to the finals and
Yeah.
win it. It has to be a twofer. They have to get there and win it because they got there last year. So getting there again isn't going to be enough. You got to get there and win it with
Right.
this team.
U-
Otherwise,
u-
he's
Ultimately, I think it's a 3-team race in the West.
in the West.
And yeah, I think it's between Denver, OKC, and you put an asterisk by the Lakers if they can avoid Denver.
I can't see the Lakers doing it, but I have Denver, OKC. Mm, the Grizzlies are playing well, but I don't know. Now,
I feel like they'll piece
outside
of
of those top three teams, if I had to pick a sleeper team, I would pick the Rockets because they're young and they don't know better. Because
I just feel like,
man,
man, I don't know, man. I don't know,
they're
man. I feel
young.
like
They're
it's
bro. They
Capella.
are young and they
Is
are
Capella
going.
still with that team?
Say it again.
It's Capella. Who that big man is?
No. He's Sagoon.
Yeah, I just don't believe in him, man. Like
I
I
was gonna
watched
say
this,
he made the All Star team. He's on the All Star
but I
team this
watched this,
year.
but I watched this game, man. I just don't know if it translates to the playoffs once they go half court. You know, I
But here's the thing. Okay, so I will admit on offense they can have a difficulty in the playoffs at times, But on defense, they could put 3 to 4 players on the floor who can switch, and when I say switch, I mean we switching everything. Just tell me when the screen's coming, and I'm going with the person who's coming off of it, like that type of situation. Then they
right,
run. Amen Thompson runs. Jalen Green runs. Like
right,
Eason runs. Like these boys, they're gonna be playing for sure 8-9 deep because they can, and they're young and they hooping and they hungry and they don't know any better. They could be FAFO. They could be that team. They could be a
yeah,
FAFO in a minute.
right. Now I just don't know, man. Oh man, it's another thing, man. They could run into some team. Like I think if they run into like a Lakers run, it's gonna outsmart them. They're just too young. Um, if they
Have
run
you?
into
Okay, bro.
if they
Think
run
about it
into
like
like
this.
a Denver, they're gonna get
Yeah.
beat. OKC, I don't see them beating OKC. I'm just being realistic, man. Like in a
Okay.
7 game series,
OKC. Yes. OKC. Yes. I would say okay. 7 game. I mean, yeah. I can make an argument for any of those teams that you named in the 7 game series. My only thing is this, because you're playing every other night, and
now I
when you
do like
have,
Idoka. I do like Idoka now.
yeah, I was
Idoka
gonna say
give me a little. I do
great
like how I
coach.
see Idoka turn that franchise around. I think they like 1 to 2 years
That's
away from being really, really contenders. Because I
yeah,
feel like
really, really
Idoka
dead. No, I feel you,
really.
but just off of this year, because I feel you on that as well. And also, they have a lot of trade assets. They probably will end up getting KD. Honestly, over the summer,
Right.
they'll probably end up getting KD. But just off of this year, because they'll be playing every other night. I feel like if they run into the Lakers, they can stretch that to a game 6, game 7, game 7. Anything can happen, especially because it's going to be in Houston. And I feel like they can annoy Brown and them enough because Brown doesn't get back on defense anymore.
Right.
So you can annoy that team enough, and the Lakers are only going to rotate about 6, maybe 7 in the playoffs,
Right.
maybe. So because that bench is so short, it's like you can run them enough to maybe knock them out, give them a good sucker punch to put them out. Then the Nuggets, what they're gonna have to do to the Nuggets is basically speed up their game. That's it.
Yeah.
That's
I
because
see
if you
them.
just do like half court, I go half court, you go half court, I go half court, you go half court, they're not gonna win that way.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
Jokic is gonna half court them to death. That's it.
I see
But if
them
they
like
could get that up and down,
the ceiling I get them is like a second round exit. Like, cause I can see them being like I can see them beating like a Sacramento. I can see them beating a Golden State team who still needs a little bit more than Jimmy Butler. I can see them beating the Golden State, Sacramento. I can see them beating. I can even see them beating like a Minnesota. You know, um, I don't think Rudy Gobert gives them enough down low. I think they really going to be starting them
never have.
down. Man, get off the boy, man.
Like,
And I just feel like Julius Randle, man, I feel like you can kind of get him in foul trouble. I feel like Idoka
yeah.
will coach them through those. Like, all of those teams all on the lower tier, like, after the first top 4 teams, it kind of falls down to me. And then anybody could beat anybody. After Denver, after you got
Yeah,
OKC,
right now it's OKC, Memphis, Denver, Houston, LA, and then LA. Lakers, Clippers. Those are the top
yeah,
6.
I don't really got the Clippers. I don't think Leonard is gonna be healthy. I'm tired of really putting faith in that
I
guy,
bought
man.
into that too many times.
Yeah, I don't. I want to say, but when he's playing, he's a bad man. I just don't think he can be healthy. I think he needs to retire. I
Listen,
think he
when
got,
Kawhi is playing and he's healthy, he's one of the
yeah,
greatest players I've ever seen in my life.
yeah. It just
But
healthy. He's never healthy.
yeah, we don't get
So
that a lot.
in James Harden, it's clear he's not enough. So
Right.
so can't really bank on him. I mean, like I said, I'm banking with the young guys, man. I got it coming down the West Finals. I got Denver. I think they're gonna end up finishing out to be the 2 seed. OKC gonna stay the 1 seed. I can see Denver and OKC for a collision course, and I think that's gonna be a
Have we
7
given up
round.
on Memphis?
They
Because
go as
Memphis was
God.
a young. They were that young team at one point in time. Have we given up on them?
I think Ja gotta become a more consistent shooter for them to really be in there. Because what you're gonna do in the playoffs, you're gonna build a wall.
Right.
I mean, you got Bane that can shoot at a high clip, but I just it ain't like where a play situation where where you got a player like Steph who also can stretch the floor. I think they just gonna clog the lanes up against those guys. Now in the first couple rounds, sure, but like when it comes to beating like the OKC, the Denver Nuggets, the Lakers, I think all of those guys, man, they're gonna have a tough time against those guys.
Okay. I mean, that has yet to be seen. I'm not picking my West team yet. I'm gonna save it for right before we get in the playoffs, and then we'll walk it out. But I hear what you're saying, and the All Star
Right.
break is literally right here. We here. So let's switch over to the East real quick. So I'll just give you the top teams right now. Number 1, Cleveland.
Okay. Okay, keep going.
Oh, okay. So anyway,
Uh,
yo, all right. So number 1, Cleveland Cavaliers. Number 2, Boston. Number 3, New York. Number 4, Pacers. 5, Bucks. 6, Pistons. Shout out to the Pistons for being 6.
yeah,
Because,
man, I didn't see
man,
that one.
that was a journey to get there for them. That was a
I
journey, a
see them.
voyage.
I don't. It ain't gonna make no noise, but okay.
No. But K's really coming into his own. We got the Magic at 7. We got Miami at 8. Hawks at 9. Bulls at 10. And Philly at 11, which is absolutely insane.
I like the way the Magics are built, man. Honestly, I feel like they got some real
Yeah,
key pieces. They got some real winners, man. Like I like the way they're built. I like what they got going on. I feel like, man, I can see them getting in the playoffs, and man, ain't nobody gonna want to see them. They play real tough defense. I mean, they got like some key
they're gonna be a
pieces.
tough out.
Like, like they got KCP over there, man. They got like some real good pieces over there, man. Some real winners, man. Like guys that don't necessarily show up on the stat sheet, but they play winning basketball, you know. And then they
No,
got
for sure. No,
Bankero.
the Magic, they have a good team. Like just a couple guys, Jonathan, Isaac, KCP, like you said, Suggs, Paulo, uh,
Mm,
the Wagner brothers. Like they have some guys over there for sure. Gary Harris, like they have some hoopers over there.
yeah,
But just looking at the ESO, honestly, and me and E were actually talking about this too. Me,
yeah.
E, and
But let
Mitch.
me tell you about your Cleveland before you go, because you say no one see Cleveland Cavaliers, man. And it's not a bad take. It depends on how you take it.
Go ahead, bro. What you
Cleveland
got?
depends on how you take it. Cleveland is one of those teams, man, where they literally can lose in the first round or they can go all the way. They just one of those teams like that. They a weird team like that where they, man, like I can see them going all the way, but I also can see them losing in the first round. Like if they lost in the first round, it wouldn't shock me. But if they went all the way, it wouldn't shock me, man. It's just how aggressive is Darius Garland gonna be? Is he gonna defer or is he gonna stay aggressive? Because when Darius Garland is ultra aggressive, that's a whole nother team. Because we know what Donovan Mitchell gonna do.
Right.
He shows up. We know what he's gonna do. We kind of know what Mobley's gonna do. He's really not. He's not gonna wow you, but he's gonna be consistent.
His
Allen is
development
gonna
has
get,
been great.
yeah, he's gonna get you 2 or 3 blocks in a game. He's not really gonna. I mean, you get 18 points out of him, you stealing. You know what I'm saying? So it all depends on how aggressive Darius Garland is. I mean, I think that's been the one difference for them all season. It's like Darius Garland
Mm.
has been very aggressive. And remember, we was kind of saying that last year. Um, when they was in the playoffs when Donovan Mitchell went down, we was like, man, if only he was playing that aggressive with Donovan Mitchell, they could have made some noise. So to me, it depends on how aggressive Darius Garland is in the game. So that's why I say they one of those teams where, like I said, go all the way or they could lose in the first round. As far as the Celtics, we know what the Celtics are. I think they still got the most talented defensive backcourt in the whole NBA. So I think, and so once the game slows down, and once they really start keying in on their opponent,
Mm.
we kind of know what to expect from them. Um, the Knicks, the Knicks, man, they got all the tools, they got all the weapons, man. I mean, I think Carl Anthony Towns is really a difference maker. I can see those guys going all the way too. Like I said, it's really top heavy, just like the West. I mean, you got really just 4 teams really that can make some noise, and all the other teams I think are just like a couple of years away, a couple of pieces away.
So okay, so if I'm like just looking at this for real, I'm telling you right now, I got Cleveland coming out, of course, because you already know. I rock with
Yeah,
I go with my guys. Period. Like, and just like look beyond them. Boston's Boston, as you stated. When
yeah,
they start seeing boys in the playoffs, that's gonna be tough. The
right,
Knicks have all of the potential. They honestly
right,
have all of the potential because they have all the pieces that you would want for a
right,
championship team. They
right,
have inside. They can score inside, mid range, three. They lock up on defense. They
right.
have everything that you would want from a Knick team that has a chance to go to the championship. Pacers, they're number 4. Don't believe in them. Let's scoot them out the way. The Bucks, they have Giannis and Dame. Don't believe in them. Scoot them out the way as well.
I can't, I
Giannis,
can't, I can't scoot Milwaukee out the way. Now I really just
tell me
can't,
more.
man.
Tell me more, because I absolutely can.
I can't because, man, I really don't understand the Kuzma trade. To me, he wasn't an upgrade for Middleton. I think Middleton is a better fit. I think he's just been dinged. I think he was a better defender. Um, I don't really like the Kuzma trade, but at the same time, man, I mean, you really can't count that boy, Giannis out, man. Um, he's one of those guys, man. He plays hard every game, man. I mean, I just don't want to count those guys out. We've seen them lose in the first round, then come back and go to the finals. I mean,
Yes,
like,
however, Giannis is great. Giannis is one of the greatest players of all time. You know, I have him on my Mount Rushmore for power forwards. It's him,
right,
Tim Duncan, Dirk, and KG or Charles Barkley, interchangeable on my Mount
right,
Rushmore for power forwards. So you know, I got Giannis high. And
yeah,
like I said, Giannis is amazing. I just don't think he's enough. I don't think he and Dame are going to be enough because the pieces that are around, I don't believe them. I don't believe in them one bit. I do think Kyle Kuzma's better than Chris Middleton. I said after they won this championship, that's when they should have traded Chris Middleton because I've watched a lot of Bucks games and I watched yes. Listen, sometimes you gotta know when to trade people when their value is at the highest that it's going to be. You have to look at somebody and say, is his value? Because I wanted them to keep Drew Holiday over Chris Middleton because you look at people and you're like, okay, is this person's value going to go up anymore or has it
right,
reached its max? I thought Chris Middleton reached his max. You saw games where he was hooping this and the third, but he always had like little nagging injuries, or like sometimes he would disappear when you didn't need him to disappear. Like that one
right,
year, it just clicked for him, and I said, "Cool, it clicked. Let's go ahead and trade him and get somebody else or more like some bodies else, like more
right,
bodies to bring in." But they ended up keeping him and letting Holiday go. They ended up having to keep him longer because he had the injuries, and then they had to kind of bail out and get the Kyle Kuzma because that was pretty much the only option. So that
right.
being the case, I don't believe in the Bucks, man. And Giannis, I am a Giannis fan. I
You,
love Dame's attitude and how he
yeah.
hoops. I can't buy in.
Do you know who would have been a great fit in Milwaukee?
Paul George?
Nah, of course not. I don't know what happened to Paul George, man. Like, I like Paul. He gonna sell off in the
Yeah,
worst way. But
bruh.
Jimmy Butler, Jimmy Butler would have been a great fit in Milwaukee.
Yes.
That would have been a great fit.
Yes,
You think
however,
about
there's no way Miami would have traded Jimmy Butler to the Bucks. There's no
mm,
world where that would have happened. You
yeah.
see, they
I'm
sent
just
him out west.
yeah, I'm just saying like far as like the dynamic of their team,
Yeah,
he would have fit in
I
there
agree.
seamless.
No, I
And
agree.
he was
Now, if they would have got Jimmy Butler, we have a completely different conversation. If they could have got
yeah,
Jimmy Butler, I would have been like, okay, they might sneak. They have a puncher's chance for real, of going
yeah.
to the finals. Right now, I don't believe it.
I just don't feel like I don't feel like him and the Warriors is it, it doesn't to me it doesn't make them it doesn't move them up or down. I mean,
It doesn't.
it doesn't do
Well,
me
it moves
anything.
them up a little bit, but not where it matters the most.
I mean, to me it doesn't like to me he don't
Like
fit better
they'll make
than
the play in.
yeah, he don't fit better than Wiggins did with them guys. Of course he's a better player than Wiggins, but the Wiggins fit better if you ask me for what his skill set was. You
I
know,
think
to me,
that I think that part of the problem is they lost their GM who put together that great dynasty that they had. He's now being an analyst. That along with Steve Kerr isn't he doesn't come off as a coach, a guy who coaches talent like fresh uncultivated talent and making that great. He's like, cool, you give me a polished Steph, like everybody who already knows who they are, and Mark Jackson has already built this great team, and then I just push that further a little more by taking
right,
what I got from Phil and Pop, and I just push that push that envelope a little more. So he's like,
Right.
"You're here, I'll take you here, not a here and bring you here."
Right.
So I think as long as he's a coach, they're gonna, if they don't get the pieces that he could go from here to here, they're gonna stay right about here.
Okay. So who you got in the Eastern Conference Final?
Say it again.
Who you got in the Eastern Conference Final?
So it's gonna be us versus, it's either the Knicks or the Celtics. Uh, it's gonna be Boston. I think it's gonna be Boston. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Boston. I wouldn't mind. I really don't care which one we go up against. Honestly, um, I wouldn't mind seeing the Knicks beat Boston because I don't want to see Boston again. Honestly, uh, not like we ducking from them or anything. Just
That's
like
exactly
bro,
what you know.
no
That's
no no no
exactly
no
what you.
no no. I don't feel like talking about whose team is it, Tatum's or Browns. That
I,
thing.
I,
And that's the part I'm like, but also
that'll work in
historically,
y'all favor though. That'll work in y'all favor.
I don't like Boston. So
Yeah, I don't blame you.
yeah, historically I don't
I
like
just like Drew
Boston.
Holiday. I like
I
Drew
do like,
Holiday.
okay, so like if we just break down, I do like Drew Holiday. I do like Jason Tatum. He seems cool. Jaylen Brown, he seems cool. Like they all seem like cool dudes. Like so, I mean that is what it is. In New York, I like their camaraderie more, and I like how they are and how all those Villanova guys, hoop
Yeah,
together and all that stuff. Also, it'd be good to see Tibbs finally, push, get closer, But no matter who
right.
comes, no matter who pulls up to Cleveland, they catching the L. So I mean,
So who
they
you
can
got
they can
winning
make a
on?
little. They can make an all-star team if they want to. They're gonna catch an L too.
Um, so who you got winning the championship?
Cleveland, what are we doing? What are
And
we doing?
like for real, not because take out the hometown hit. Like for real.
If I take a, okay, so and this is early, we still gotta revisit. If I'm being for real, I'm still going with Cleveland, and the reason why I'm going with Cleveland is because I feel like we're the most balanced team. I mean, Boston's balanced as well. OKC's balanced as well. Like the three of us are obviously the most balanced teams in the
Right.
NBA. But especially since we have DeAndre Hunter now, it just added the wing that could play defense and score that we wanted. I feel like the if we mess up, it's because we messed up more than anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand that trade because Levert, man, he's like one of those plays really streaky, man. You don't know what you're gonna get from him.
Yeah, I
I
mean
mean,
he started
sometimes
playing. He started playing better. He did start playing better before he got traded, but I've seen him. I don't know. We can't always count on him the way that we need to.
yeah, it's crazy because like I said, sometimes he look all world. Some guy you forget he on the court. So I get it.
Man, all right. So who you got coming out the East?
Um, man, it's hard for me to move out of Boston. But
You're
I
ahead
I
bro.
might yeah I see it coming between the New York Knicks and Boston. Um,
Knicks and
man,
Boston.
Knicks or Boston? Yeah, I gotta go with them too. Either one of those two.
Your
I
team's
know for
trash,
sure it
but
ain't
whatever. Okay, so real quick. So let's talk a little all star. I just wanna we have a new format. The teams play each other. Winners meet in the finals, of course. So we have Chuck's team. I'm gonna give you everybody's list real quick, and you got to pick
gonna.
who you got going. We got Chuck's team. We got Joker, Giannis, Shea, Victor. Uh, we have Pascal Siakam. We have Segun. We have Cat. We have Donovan Mitchell. Kenny has Ant Brunson, Jaren Jackson, Jalen Williams, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Kay Cunningham, Tyler Hero, and then Shaq has Bron, Steph, AD, Tatum, Durant, Lillard, Harden, and Brown. Who you got getting it done?
I'm gonna go with Chuck team.
Chuck?
Giannis always play. Giannis always play hard in if he play in all star. I don't think Giannis gonna play. Who they got to replace Giannis?
Oh, you're right. Giannis isn't playing. Trey's taking this spot.
Trae Young.
Yeah.
Hmm. 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 Damn, man. Um, which team? Who picked up LeBron?
Browns with Shaq.
Shaq. I'm gonna go with Shaq team because LeBron
You
don't
going with
lose to them
Shaq's
all.
team?
When that dude haven't lost the All Star game in like what 9 years, 8 years, or something like that.
I don't know. I never looked into that. Okay. I'm not mad at that. If Giannis was playing, I would go Charles Barkley's
I
team.
would I would have went with Charles if Giannis was playing. 'Cause that dude play hard in every All Star game.
That's facts.
But since he ain't there, I'm gonna go with Shaq team.
Yeah, I think I'm rocking with Shaq's squad too. Only because that. Oh, and then also we got to make note of this too. We got KD, eighth player to get 30,000 points. He's number
KD.
8 on the all-time scoring list and climbing.
You saw they asked him a
Uh,
question when he get 40. He was like, "Man, I don't know if I'm gonna play that long." Because he was saying like he was
uh,
say like 40 will take about like what 3 or 4 more years consistent.
yeah.
Stay on court.
One day we're gonna look up, and all our legends are gonna be out the top 10, and these new guys are gonna be in because they're just playing for so
I
long.
don't know, man. LeBron, man, he defying the odds, man. This dude still look like he can do 2 or 3 more years.
Okay,
Right.
so here's, and we can pick this up on the next episode. But here's something that me, Ian Mitch were talking about.
Mm.
Bron, it does. I don't feel like he's playing for championships anymore. Like he wants to win championships. That's the goal. But I just don't see a scenario where he's going to win another championship. So at this point, it just feels like he's stat stuffing to basically chase Jordan. That's how I
I don't
feel.
know, man. I don't know, man. Like I said,
Because he's not playing defense, but he is going out getting, some rebounds, some points, and some assists. Like
you talking
still
about LeBron?
quality high. Yeah, Brown's not playing defense. He's yelling at other people to play defense.
All right, okay. I wouldn't be surprised when them boys show up. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm just saying.
Okay, well, how about this? We'll pick up on this. We'll pick up on this on the next episode, and then I'll see if we
Yes,
could get Ian Mitch in the building because, bro,
yes,
I
sir.
don't I don't know, man. It's feeling like like
Yeah.
this although we come to the end of the road and he's just picking up stats on the way to the end to be like, hey, look how long my resume is. I mean, if I'm
I,
tripping, tell me I'm tripping, but that's what it's feeling like.
man, I just don't count that boy LeBron out, especially now you got Luca.
Second
Man, and
greatest
then you
player to
got
ever touch a basketball for
then,
sure.
then you got AR-15 who's balling.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm telling you.
He'll be streaky in the playoffs. He'll be
Then you
streaky.
got Hamachi. Then you got what's his name? Hamachi Moore. The boy tough down low down. Now he did the best job against Jokic.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
All right, well, let's put a pin in it. We'll follow up on that one. Well, I'll try to get the rest of the crew in here, see if we can chop it up. Cause maybe y'all tripping. Maybe y'all just need to talk some sense into me. We'll see.
Yeah,
As y'all know, it's been another episode of Nothing Nice. We appreciate y'all putting up with us. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit the links below. We got the TikTok, we have the IG, we have the Facebook. All that. Hit us up. Let us know if we tripping in the comments. whatever, whatever. It's your boy JB and Mook. We out.
Peace.